A silent revolution is underway, and it's changing the face of global finance. China, backed by its BRICS allies, is challenging the US dollar's supremacy through bold economic strategies and strategic currency swaps. This video dives deep into the rise of the Chinese yuan, real-world examples of shifting alliances and the potential fall of the dollar's global dominance. The financial world may never be the same again. A financial storm is brewing, and it's not one the world has seen before. While global markets operate under the assumption that the US dollar is unshakable, a quiet but deliberate rebellion is underway. China, backed by its BRICS allies, is taking direct aim at the heart of American financial power, the dollar itself. This isn't a theoretical debate or a fringe movement. It's a full-scale financial revolution playing out in real time. Under President Xi Jinping's leadership, China is building a parallel financial system, one that doesn't rely on the dollar, and countries around the world are joining this movement. At the core of this strategy lies a tool both simple and powerful: currency swap agreements. Through these arrangements, China enables direct currency exchanges with partner nations, effectively bypassing the dollar. These deals are more than technical financial maneuvers. They are a clear message to Washington: the old order is being challenged. Already, over 40 countries have entered into such agreements with China. In South America, Argentina has turned to the Yuan for its trade with China, buffering itself against dollar volatility. In Africa, Nigeria and South Africa have integrated the Yuan into their financial frameworks. South Africa even added the Yuan to its foreign reserves, a significant pivot from long-standing dollar reliance. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka, during its economic collapse, relied on a currency swap with China to maintain imports and stabilize its markets. Instead of turning solely to the IMF or the US-dominated global banking system, it turned east toward Beijing and the Yuan. Each of these moves signals more than financial pragmatism. It's a shift in global loyalty. By offering an escape from dollar dependence, China is attracting nations weary of Washington's influence and the unpredictable consequences that come with it. The US dollar, while historically dominant, carries inherent risks for nations outside the United States. From sharp exchange rate swings to sanctions, countries using the dollar find themselves exposed to decisions made far from their own borders. When the US imposes sanctions, as it has done against Iran, Russia, Venezuela and others, it does so using the dollar's might. This weaponization of currency has not gone unnoticed. China's strategy offers an alternative. Through these swap deals, countries can insulate themselves from dollar-driven economic shocks and political pressure. For example, Pakistan's deepening reliance on China during its financial difficulties included drawing from UN reserves, something unthinkable just a decade ago. This movement is not limited to financial survival. It's about building a new world order. With each agreement, China is forming a network, a financial ecosystem where the yuan is at the center. It's not just about replacing the dollar, it's about redefining who holds the reins of power. In the past, countries had little choice but to conduct trade in dollars. Today, they have options. With China's growing economic influence and its massive Belt and Road Initiative spreading across continents, more countries are naturally aligning with Beijing's economic vision. Thailand and South Korea, key players in Asia, have also signed currency swap agreements with China. These aren't fringe nations. They're major economies with global ties. Their participation underscores the legitimacy and attractiveness of this yuan-based model. Even Russia, facing severe Western sanctions, has doubled down on yuan transactions, conducting energy trade and bilateral commerce in Chinese currency. This has helped Russia weather its financial storm and further entrenched the yuan's role in international finance. The yuan's internationalization has also received a boost from central banks worldwide. According to the IMF, the Chinese yuan now ranks among the top 5 currencies in the world's official foreign reserves, a milestone that illustrates the currency's rising status. Despite challenges, China has shown remarkable resilience and adaptability. From managing trade wars to navigating global recessions, it has consistently adjusted its financial policies to suit shifting global dynamics. And now it's doing the same on a much larger scale, setting the stage for a future where the yuan isn't just an option, but a standard. One of the most striking elements of China's financial diplomacy is how quietly and steadily it has advanced. While Western media often focuses on military and political tensions, the financial battlefield is being redrawn with far less attention, yet far greater consequence. These moves have not gone unrecognized in the halls of global power. The US Federal Reserve, the IMF, and global financial institutions are watching as the foundations of dollar dominance begin to crack. And while the dollar is far from dead, it's no longer unchallenged. The rise of the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, further solidifies this shift. These nations are not only increasing trade among themselves in local currencies, but are exploring the creation of a unified BRICS currency. If successful, this could further marginalize the dollar in global trade. Countries like Brazil have already expressed interest in using the yuan for trade with China, reducing their dependence on US-centric financial systems. The pattern is clear. More nations are seeking alternatives, and China is ready to provide them. None of this happened overnight. China's long-term planning and commitment to building alternatives to Western financial structures have laid the groundwork for the shift, from the creation of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank to its aggressive push for digital currency innovation. China is preparing for a future where the financial balance of power is more evenly distributed. This isn't a passing trend. It's the early stages of a structural transformation. As more countries sign on to yuan-based systems, the world edges closer to a truly multipolar financial landscape, one where no single currency dominates and no single country controls the levers of global trade. The implications are enormous. For businesses, it means new standards in international payments. For governments, it means rethinking foreign reserves and trade policies. And for ordinary citizens, it could lead to a world where economic shocks in the US have less impact on global markets. As China's influence grows, so too does the appeal of its model. Stable, pragmatic, and focused on long-term gains, it offers an alternative to the volatility and politics often associated with the US-led system. It's not just about replacing the dollar, it's about reimagining the system itself. The rise of the yuan represents more than a currency trend. It symbolizes a shift in global trust, a decentralization of economic power, and a new era of financial diplomacy. What we are witnessing is nothing less than the beginning of a new global financial order, and China is at its helm.